Hi Virgos, Trishna here. Welcome to your January 2020 love reading. So we're going to do this video the way that I did the last sets of December videos. I'm going to share what I'm getting intuitively, and then we're going to go ahead and look at some cards and read those cards. So what I'm feeling for you, Virgo, for January of 2020 is I feel like a breakthrough has happened, some kind of change has happened, and it's been for the positive. I feel like from your end, like yourself, you feel better about your situation. And I know that I've been saying that every month, you feel a little bit better, but I feel like you've had some kind of emotional breakthrough. Something has changed in your mentality, in your feelings. It's almost like you were in this mental fog for the past few months with regards to your relationship that you just were really stuck in and didn't know how to get out of. And now that the new year has started, it's like you see things clearly again, and everything is just different. Like you look at everything from a different lens now than you did before. And I feel like you just feel a lot better internally for yourself, and that you have a better feeling about your relationship as well and where it's going to go. Like maybe something has already happened and things are already starting to materialize in the way that you would like them to materialize, or you started to see the signs that they're about to. Like maybe the partner in question is starting to warm up or starting to shift in ways that you remember them being before the two of you started having issues or some kind of separation. Or maybe they've been down in the dumps for a while and you're starting to see a change in their mentality and their attitude and their mindset and all of that, and their optimism about life. Something has shifted, whether it's how you feel inside about the situation, like you just know something has changed, you know things are better, you feel better about everything, or you're actually starting to see signs in your partner, or like things are actually happening, things are starting to actually materialize. So wow, like Virgo, this is great because I know that I've been feeling for you for a while that January was going to be a month when things started to change in your relationship. But energy changes based off of our perception and our mentality. So and just how things interplay. And so as we're getting closer to January, I wondered, like, how is the month going to go? Are we still going to be the way that it's been, where it's like difficult, or are things actually going to change? And I feel like things are actually starting to change. So I'm really happy for you, Virgo. So I think by the end of this month, if you're not feeling this way now, if things haven't changed now, I think by the end of the month, something is going to be different. You're going to be happier. Your partner is going to be more engaged. Like something is going to be different. Something is going to feel different at least. And I don't know if you will have a relationship status change. I think in the past I've said that you won't, but I'm feeling like very strongly that that's very much a possibility by the end of this month. That the two of you are actually going to come together and you're actually going to be in a relationship that has a title now, instead of maybe something that's been a little bit up in the air or not really truly committed. I think that's going to happen by the end of this month. So, wow, that's like really exciting. It's really exciting to say. All right, Virgo, so that's like all that I'm getting for you for the intuitive portion. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and pull some cards out, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. All right, Virgo, so for today's video, I used the Witch's Tarot deck by Ellen Dugan, and we're going to do this the same way we did it in December. I'm going to be covering the first 6 cards in this video and the last 6 cards plus additional cards as needed in the extended video. So in the top row, we have the 4 Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Sun, the Fool, the 7 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. And Virgo, I am really, really happy with these cards. The intuitive portion was really positive, and all of these cards are really positive as well. So Virgo, it is about time. I'm glad that you're having a really positive reading. Finally, right? Okay, so the first card is 4 of Cups, and it came out in reverse. The 4 of Cups, when it's in the upright, represents being disappointed, being down in the dumps, having this feeling of longing, wondering if you're going to lose whatever it is that you have, wondering if you even have anything in the first place to lose, wondering if whatever you have is going to be taken away in some way. And just being in this really disappointed position, this down in the dump situation. And that represents your past, because, yeah, that represents your past. And it came out in the reversed position. And that's because something has changed, Virgo. You are now in this position where you can be happy again, where you can smile again, where you can be dreamy again, where something positive is on the horizon for you. And that positive thing is the Knight of Wands. This represents your partner. The Knight is a male, but Your partner could be male or female, of course. So take that as it applies to you. It doesn't have to be male. But this represents your partner, whoever he or she is. Your partner is coming in with a lot more certainty, with a lot more strength. They have overcome a battle that was something that they've overcome some kind of battle, probably something that they were fighting within themselves, but it could have been something else. But they've overcome a battle and they're coming to you with a position of strength, with a position of love, and with a position of some form of commitment that they want to give to you. They've fought their battle, they've won their battle, and they're showing up now for you, Virgo, for you specifically. And the battle, whatever it was, like maybe it was something that they were dealing with inside, maybe some form of depression, it's not all gone. You know, there's still a battle there that they're having to fight, but it's not the same as it was. Whereas before, their depression or whatever their situation was affected other people. It came out of them and affected other people in other areas of their life. Like, it was not self contained. Whereas before, it just like permeated everybody and everyone. It no longer does that anymore. They've got it under some form of control. Whatever the situation was, they've brought it down to a manageable size. If it was at like 100% size, 100% capacity, 100% level of depression, it's now down to like 5%, 10% at most. So it's really, they've made a lot of progress, a lot of growth, a lot of changes in themselves, in their lives. So they still have it, but it's nowhere near the size that it was before. It's at a significantly smaller size, and it's something that they can manage and that they can manage within themselves. Instead of their depression or their situation affecting everybody, kind of knocking all the dominoes down, it's something that they have within themselves that they can deal with on their own. And it's self-contained. Now you may think, but they're my partner. I don't want them to have to deal with anything on their own, even if it's something small. Like, I want them to be able to rely on me. I feel like in this situation, it is something that they kind of have to deal with on their own, at least for now. This is something that they have to work through. If it's something that they want to work through with you, then they will mention it. They'll mention it to you. They'll ask you for help. They'll ask you for some guidance. They'll ask you to be supportive. But if not, don't worry about it right now. I feel like this is still something that they need to manage, and their depression or their situation, whatever it is, their battle, they're really not going to be focused on it right now, even though they still have about 5 to 10% of it left. That's just not where their head's at right now. Their head is more focused on you. And that's probably where it should be, because whatever their situation is, it doesn't need their attention right now. So it's okay that they're not putting all of their focus on that. They are going to be focusing on that on their own time, but when it comes to the two of you, they're just happy to be here. They're happy to be able to show up, and yeah, like, it's positive. With the Sun card, I feel like this represents you. And basically, you're in this position where you're able to smile again. Like, you're able to smile again, and you're like, wait, can I be happy? Yeah, I can be happy. So this is a really nice card, Virgo, because I think that while you wanted your partner to come back, you were worried that you wouldn't really be able to take them back, or that you wouldn't be happy necessarily if they came back, just because of so much pain and hurt that you've been dealing with. But you're actually going to be very pleasantly pleased when they return, very pleasantly surprised. You're going to be happy to receive them. Whatever hurt or trust issues you thought you were going to have to overcome, or you're going to have to need them to work on or help you with, they're kind of just going to fade. They're going to melt away. That's not going to be an issue like you might have thought that it was going to be. You're going to be able to smile, and you're going to be happy to be smiling. So this is positive. And the Sun card in tarot represents basically wish fulfillment, you getting everything that you want. So that's already on its own, without the intuitive portion, a positive sign. And I think even the Knight of Wands is a positive sign. It's your knight coming towards you, wanting to communicate with you again, wanting to offer you something, wanting to start something anew and rebuild what was once there, to rebuild it again and to build it with a stronger foundation. So, you know, without the intuitive portion, you already have really powerful, really strong cards here. The Fool represents a new beginning. It represents starting something basically with like no hangups, no cynicism, nothing like that. And I feel like that is your energy. I feel like this represents your journey through this whole situation. You've had a lot to deal with. This has not been easy. This has come with a lot of pain, a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of depression on your own, on your side. Your partner's been dealing with something, but so have you through this whole process. They've put you through a lot. And people can come out of journeys like that with more optimism, with more love, with more compassion, or they can come out of it with a lot more cynicism, with negativity, with a lot of hurts and a lot of baggage, and with their heart more closed than it was before. And I feel like you have come out of this with more love. You've come out of this somebody who can be naive and love again, somebody who doesn't have to hold their cards close to their heart, who doesn't have to put up walls. If anything, you may have become more trusting of your partner through this whole situation. If they haven't come back yet, you may not feel that way, but when they do, I think that you'll agree with me then. That like, yeah, you're able to let bygones be bygones and to be open with your partner and be vulnerable again. And something about this whole transformation has allowed you to do that. Like, maybe you didn't used to be vulnerable before, but you've had to be through this entire situation because you really love this person. And that is a lesson that you have learned through this, and now you have transformed as a person yourself to be somebody who is now vulnerable, not just when it's hard, but maybe all the time, like even when it's good and it's happy. So Virgo, that's good. You've made a wonderful transformation of your own. You've grown in a really, really powerful way. Like, there is strength in being somebody who doesn't need to hide. Doesn't need to hide their true feelings, doesn't need to hide doesn't need to protect themselves from hurts. Like, there's a lot of strength and a lot of power in that, and you have gained that through this journey. So good on you, Virgo. The Seven of Cups to me represents that you may have a lot of things coming your way, like a lot of things going for you in your life right now or in January. And it may be hard for you to not be distracted. Yes, your love has come here, but you've had a lot of other things come up in your life as well. Maybe new jobs, new promotions, new income sources, new sources of wealth, new interests, new friends, new hobbies, new books that you're reading, new activities that you want to do, new places that you want to go. You may have more going on for you now than you have in a while, because you've kind of had to find other things to occupy your time. Through this whole journey, I think you were really sucked into the situation and not really able to do or think beyond what was going on in your romantic situation. And you've had to come out of that and become independent, and you somehow had to move on from that. And because of that, new things came into your life that caught your fancy, caught your attention. And I think that is positive. That's definitely good. It's good to have a lot of different areas of your life that are going for you at one time, so that if one sinks, you're not completely taken down, like you have other things going for you. But I think that when your partner comes back, I think that for about 2 weeks, you should focus mostly on them. If you have commitments that you have to do, by all means, don't go ahead and do that. Like, don't shirk your responsibilities. Don't hold back what you're doing for your partner, but prioritize your partner a little bit more in those 2 weeks, because you do need to rebuild some things. You do want to, your relationship is in a positive place. Your partner is coming back and you're feeling good, and you've grown so much, like you're seeing the love in the situation more than the hurts. And you want to make sure that you are nurturing that for the next 2 weeks, and that you're rebuilding this connection with your partner, who you maybe have not really been able to talk to, or like talk to as deeply with. Like, if you've been in touch with them, you haven't really had real conversations with them, and now you have the opportunity to do that. So you want to make sure that you are in that phase of your relationship, that building up phase. So you want to make sure that you do that. Now, after those 2 weeks, you can go back to having more balance in your life and not just focusing everything on your partner. And I think that that's important. I feel like your partner may have some self-centered tendencies, or like some self-absorbed tendencies, where generally your relationship might end up being about them, or your conversations tend to be more about them than they are about you. And so I don't want you to enable that behavior. You have a lot going for you. You have a lot that you can talk about. I don't want you to enable, like, for the 2 weeks after they come back, and the two of you are like building a real relationship, not just building something that's not like a committed relationship, or that doesn't have some kind of certainty around it. Now you actually have certainty. You want to build that, and you want to focus on your partner, and you want to listen to them and what they have to talk about, and not really share as much about yourself and your activities and your interests during that 2 weeks. But because they are more self-centered, I don't want you to enable that beyond the 2 weeks. Beyond the 2 weeks, talk about whatever you want, be excited about whatever you want, and, balance them within that. But, after the 2 weeks, it's okay to talk about you and your career or your activities or your hobbies or what you want to do. So that's something that I want to mention. And if you do that, you will have this Ace of Cups, and by do that, I mean, if you focus the 2 weeks after they come back on them, and really focus on listening to them and hearing them out and putting the attention on them to really welcome them back in and build those love bonds between the two of you again. And then after that, if you go ahead and balance things out, you will have this Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups comes from you really focusing on them completely for 2 weeks. And then it continues because you have other things going for you as well, and you have a balance. So that's how you attain this Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is you basically having the love, the relationship that you want. Now, I do want to say that, of course, every relationship has its issues, and I do not feel, I want to say that there are going to be, I do sense some things coming up for you within your relationship after the two of you are together, some issues, but it will not be like what it was before. The issues will be something that you can handle. I feel like they're maybe a few months down the road, and I feel like this is all very positive. You do have this Ace of Cups, and any issues that come up, I do feel like are things that you can resolve. So yes, there are, you're having a happily ever after here. That you're going to have. It's right here in the cards. And so you are going to have a happily ever after. And I do feel like it's a very, very long-term happily ever after. There will be an issue, but again, you have the happily ever after. So don't worry about that. We'll get to that when we get to that. I think that's a few months down the line. So we'll talk about that when that comes up again. So Virgo, this is awesome. Yes, the intuitive portion, positive. The whole spread here, positive. I already see the 10 of Pentacles here, positive. 3 of Wands, positive. 8 of Swords, we'll see what that means intuitively. I feel this is positive right here. King of Cups, oh yeah, that's positive. So even in this bottom half, I'm seeing good things. So this concludes the YouTube portion of the love reading for Virgos. So if you're interested in the extended, let me share what cards we'll be talking about in that video. So we have the 2 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, the 3 of Wands, the Page of Swords, the 8 of Swords, and the King of Cups. So if you're interested in that, I will see you in the extended. You can access it at the end of this video, or the link at the end of this video. It's www.patreon.com/Trishna. And again, we will pull additional cards as needed. So we'll talk about that in that video. If you're interested in that, I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.